just not the gossiping kind. No, you'll never hear one month's redeeming gossip. So you better be sure and listen close the first time. You know, Junior was talking about turning 70, and you know, he's not the only one that turned 70. Mark turned 70. You know, I saw them walking the other day, and somebody was with, I think it was Alan Alderman was with them. And I heard Alan say, you know, it's windy today. And Junior said, no, it's Thursday. And Mark went, yeah, I'm thirsty too. Let's go get us something to drink.
Did y'all hear about Will? He's a huge football fan.
Will and Leslie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he bought 2 tickets to the Super Bowl months ahead. Well, he didn't realize it was on the same day as his wedding. He paid $2,000 a piece for those tickets. Well, he put an ad on Facebook asking if anyone would like to go in his place. He said it will be at 3 o'clock at the Penthouse and her name is Leslie.
Well, y'all know that Scott Starcher? Well, he went fishing the other day, and he swore up and down that he done caught a 20-pound bass out of that Bill Potter Lake over there. Well, when he got home and was telling Miss Hattie Lynn about it, she said, well, it must have lost 10 pounds before he got home.
Do y'all know Anna and Brian? Well, he met her on a work trip in the Cayman Islands. And he said the first time he saw her, he just knew she was going to be his wife. And so they married, and he brought her back here. But while he was there, he had a picture made. You know, they were young, and he was young, and y'all will see the picture in a minute. But they come back here and later moved to be closer to the church. Well, this guy called him and said, you'll never believe what I found. And Brian said, what? He said, just meet me this evening and I'll give it to you. So he met his friend, and it was that love picture that Anna just cherished. It was Brian's picture. And it was found at the dump in front of the dumpster. He was devastated. He thought, well, she threw my picture away. I can't believe it. Don't she love me anymore? What's going on here? So he goes home and he says, Anna, where's that picture that you love so good of me? And she said, oh, I'll go get it. Well, she couldn't find it anywhere. So he held the picture up. Here's the picture. You threw the picture away. And she finally convinced him it was an accident in the move when she was carrying stuff off. And now they're happily ever after, been married 25 years, and he's going to kill me when he gets back because he's not here.
Well, the other day I was, Jeannie and I went out. We don't hang around that too much, but we have a good time together. And we run across, they had some horses. And so Jeannie says, oh, I'm gonna go get on one of those horses. And so she got on and took off just galloping just as fast. And she looked over and there was a giraffe galloping just as fast. And she looked behind her and there come a lion. And she started saying, help, help, what am I gonna do? I said, just get off the carousel.
Well, let me tell you about Janet. You remember, Doug Edwards' girlfriend. Well, when she was at the store and she got out, she went to her car, realized she accidentally left her car keys in the car. Well, she tried for about half an hour to get those
Janet had a coat hanger, and she worked and could not get it unlocked. So she prayed, and she said, "Oh God, please send me some help."
And so about that time, along came this rough-looking character. He had, like a leather jacket and tattoos and skull cap on his head. In about 15 seconds, he had that car unlocked. She gave him a hug and she said, "Thank you, God, for sending me this nice man." And he said, "Oh, man, lady, I'm not a nice man. I just got out of prison for auto theft." So she said, "God, thank you so much. For you even sent me a professional."
Well, y'all know that Lester Purdue and Arlen Doss was getting ready for, those disaster trips that they go on and stuff. So Lester goes, "Arlen, do I take my hammer with me?" And he said, "Well, I took mine last year, but I ain't taking as many pictures this year."
We all know Tom and Linda. Well, Tom walks in one day, told Linda, he said, "Well, I heard that 100-year-old joke that you hear every year." And she said, "What was that, Tom?" And he said, "Why did the chicken cross the road?" And Linda said, "Well, what did you say, Tom?" And he said, "Well, I really thought about it, and it had to be a reason. Logically, it had to be a reason that chicken crossed the road. I think maybe she went over and she saw something about she liked to eat. Or maybe she just went over there to get them little chicks back and scold them for crossing." And Linda looked at Tom and said, "Well, Tom, maybe she saw a handsome Tom Rooster over there." And Tom just said, "Oh," I looked at her and grinned.
All right, I just got one more I heard the other day, and y'all know Caleb Joyce is his last name, Grace's boyfriend. Well, they were out on this date, and he brought her home, and he was being real nice, and got out and walked her to the door, and he reached down to give her a good old smooch, and he said, "Grace, what creepy lips you got." And she goes, "Oh, thank you."
Go around spreading rumors, while really we're just not the gossiping kind. No, you'll never hear one of us repeating gossip, so you better be sure and listen close the first time.